Good evening, all. So, I have with me Mr. Lalit Jain, who is an IAS officer from Himachal Pradesh. Let's talk to him about his vision, about his role, and what is he doing in terms of government of Himachal Pradesh. Good evening, sir. So,
Good evening, Manishji. It's always a pleasure interacting with you, and thank you so much for bringing me on this forum.
thank you so much, sir. Sir, what are some new initiatives being taken by Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, both the departments?
Manish, if we see the situation in Himachal Pradesh, both are the most important departments for the state because 90% of our area is rural area. In the backdrop of Corona, there was a dearth of jobs for the people, and we required something which can put the economy into a movement mode and something which can bring more money to the pockets of the people. So, in the past 3.5 months, the department has been focusing on generating livelihood for the people. We have recently launched Ek Biga scheme, which is that if any rural folk wants to grow vegetables in his kitchen garden, the entire expenditure is being done by department. He grows vegetables, he eats them, he sells them. It is entirely his income. We won't have anything from him, but for growing the seeds part, the land cultivation part, the fertilizer part, the irrigation part, everything we are going to provide from the department, including vermicomposting pits. So it's a unique scheme if we see. It has not been launched so far in the country and it is receiving tremendous response. Second, of course, was the Narega scheme. Today, we have around 3.5 lakhs workers because Himachal is a very small state with a population of just 60 odd lakhs. So 3.5 lakh people are today working in Narega in Himachal Pradesh. It's a big number. And thirdly, we started off with a lot of construction activity, whether it is the Panchayat Ghars, our block development offices, and etc. The only purpose was to get more money to the pockets of the people. And of course, last but not the least, the self-help group movement that has gained a lot of momentum in the past 3 months over here. We have 1.5 lakh ladies connected with the self-help group movement. They are growing vegetables, they are harnessing honey, and they are doing a lot of innovative projects which will lead to a lot of income in their pockets.
So what are some technology initiatives being taken by Panchayati Raj department? One of the most important things which Government of India says is to connect the villages, to connect the panchayats and all. What is being done by the in the terms of technology adoption?
We have launched a scheme known as Gramin Sachivalay, which is going to be like a common service center where you will get every service online. Nearly 350 services will be brought online with this. Whether you pay your electricity bills, you pay your water bills, you apply to CBSE for an examination, you want to read economic times, anything. You just need to go to that CSC center and it will be connected by a broadband and you can even do your telemedicine over there. So this is one project which we are going to get it launched in coming days. And secondly, a lot of services related to Panchayati Raj, the birth and deaths, the certificates, we have brought it online. There may be some teething problems, but technology wise, I think we are at par with the country vis-a-vis the panchayats.
So my question would be how these situations like the COVID situation is going on right now, how these CSC centers, the Gramin Sachivalay, will help in the future against this such type of pandemics or any other calamity comes in. So how will this help? Any plans of about including these things also in that centers?
Manish, my understanding today is that for Corona and COVID, the only vaccination available is awareness. So CSCs can become a hub of information education campaign where the message of wearing masks and using hand soap and sanitizers and maintaining a social distance can percolate down to the villages. And secondly, whatever the instructions of the government are, because they will be well connected with IT, the instructions of the government can very well flow to the villages. You are aware that Himachal is a very remote area, and sometimes to reach one village to another village in a district may take you 8 hours, 10 hours also. So in this respect, I think CSCs are going to be an important link of what the policy makers think in Shimla and what the people gather while sitting in their homes.
So how is the government of Himachal Pradesh planning to reach out to all the citizens? Because it's a place where there are people in the mountains, there are people in the plains. How are they planning to monitor people in these mountains and other areas for this COVID situation? What are your views on that?
Ish, I have around 12 to 13,000 Panchayati Raj representatives who are there in Himachal Pradesh because we have 3,226 panchayats, and each panchayat has other panches, that is representatives of the panchayat. So in the past 3 months, we have used them to disseminate information and to monitor COVID movement. Every day, the panchayat fills a performa of the number of people who have come to the panchayat, number of people who have shown symptoms, number of people who are without food and basic amenities. So this performa electronically that is sent to us through our district and block offices. Daily it is consolidated at the state level and then sent to the state government so that we have a figure as to what all activities are going on in the panchayats. So one, we are doing this. Secondly, we have authorized panchayats to spend whatever income they have in their bank accounts on corona related works, whether they want to do cleanliness, whether they want to use masks, whether they want to do any activity related to corona. Of course, they have to take the permission of the district magistrate, and then it is possible for them. Yes.
So we talk about people who are coming to these centers or coming to the panchayats about the COVID things, like they have symptoms. What is the plan behind migrant situations? There are lots of migrants coming from various big states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Delhi to Himachal. What are the plans to monitor them? Because they can be a potential spread of corona in the cities and in the small districts there. What are your plans about it?
You're right, Manish. Migrants, we have had around 1.5 lakhs migrants who have come back to Himachal Pradesh. And each migrant at the time of the entering of the borders, he files a declaration that he's going to inform the local panchayat about his arrival. As such, because villages are very small, each one knows everyone, so everybody comes to know who has come to the panchayat. A separate register is being maintained about these migrants. They are kept in home quarantine in case they are coming from green or orange zones. And an informatory board is put outside their house that they are quarantined so that nobody meets them. And they are kept under strict surveillance. And in case somebody is a deviant, then with the help of the police and local administration, they are sent to institutional quarantine.
Now I'll talk about coming from Corona to a revival of the economy. What are your plans towards attraction of investments from the states, from the country, from the UAE part? What government is doing to attract more investments? What are the benefits giving to the investors?
Manish, of course, investment is something which has taken a back seat in the corona times. And since physically it is not possible for people to travel, so of course, it's a big challenge. Nevertheless, the government is very sensitive and it has come up with a lot of policies. As you know, Himachal is a hill state. So there's a 30% capital investment subsidy for any investment into Himachal Pradesh, subject to limit of 5 crores. And secondly, our lands, the industrial areas have been designated and land is available at very, very less rate. There is a MSME Act whereby an industrialist may start his industry and within a period of 2 years, he may fulfill all these statutory requirements and inform the departments. Our TCP norms have been relaxed for the industry. There are a lot of incentives like providing support for non-polluting units, providing support for preparation of BPR. The state has mentioned all these in the new industrial policy which is there. So as such, Himachal has a very good climate. It is a peaceful state. We have been maintaining that peaceful nature. So it's a good place to invest for industrialists. And we are in touch with people from UAE. We are just waiting that the things stabilize and people have some investable surplus which they want to bring into Himachal Pradesh. As soon as these things come, we are going to start with our work once again.
My last question is tourism is an important thing for the state of Himachal Pradesh. So, and there are in the last couple of months, there has been no tourism activities in the state right now. Do you think we'll be able to revive the tourism sector in the state? What are the government's plan towards reviving it?
Manish, government has recently given some relaxation to the hotels and payment of some electricity charges and all that. That is what the government could do. At the same time, I believe that once we stabilize vis-a-vis corona, whether it's the herd immunity or we decide that now it is the time where we have a vaccine and that we can have movement of people, I'm sure the tourism sector will open up once again. Himachal has a beautiful climate. I am hopeful that few months hence, God will be kind and we will have some medicine or some vaccination which can prevent corona. As soon as that happens, I'm sure that we'll open up the tourism sector.
Anything else you want to share with us?
Well, I would request all the listeners also, viewers also, that it's the only vaccine which is available for corona is wearing a mask and washing hands regularly. And let us not get corona into our head. Don't be too panic, create a lot of panic about it. Learn to live with it. But yes, live with precaution. You cannot live normally as you used to do. It's a new equilibrium, and you need to adjust yourself to the new system which has come in this world.
Thank you so much for talking to Economic Times, sir.
Thank you, Manish. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.